We're on. All right. Check this out. I'm going to have to figure out... Oh, right away. Perfect. Let's check audio quick. It's a little quiet on my end. Sounds like nothing on my end. A little bit. Oh, popping up in full screen. Good. Let's the volume down by a little bit. Right. Please let me know if it's loud, because I won't be able to tell on my own. All right, Pale Beyond. I don't know who may or may not be watching. Bellular Gaming, dude that I've been following from WoW for a long time, just released after 5 years the game that he's been making for a long time. Voice acting on my own, so I'll be happy to read anything if it shows up. I think most of the stuff is going to be voiced in here. I don't really know what to expect from this, but he says it's a pretty story-heavy game, and a story-heavy game with lots of important choices in it, and something about a boat. So I guess we'll see. New game. Branches 1 out of 40. All right. Oh, the air be's cold. Oh, the air be's cold, of flaking white, as a sailor begs their pledge. To the ice they'll pray that leads reveal some charted course ahead. Of glory found and forged in frost, so that their tale spread. A hunger draws the desperate. Its one can't be fed. What will ye do when steel hearts break? Courage does abscond. Sounds good? Thank you. I'll do what must be done indeed, out in the pale. Begin. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. Dress over leaf. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. Perfectly adequate. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. Find it rather calming. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. Stops. Keep waiting. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. Remain standing. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? I have enough to get by. You never be too careful. Captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. I've not had scurvy before, if that's what you're asking. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? None. Meaning you're either perfect for the job, liar, or you've never been in command. Which is it? The latter. Really? Command tests a person's mettle. You think you're ready? I'll have to be. Please take a seat. Thank you. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. I'm Captain Hunt. Shaw. He nods. On your desk, what ship is that? Ah, this. Detailed, isn't she? Incredibly. An old sailor superstition. I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. It all seems a bit convoluted for a sailing job. I'm not in the habit of trumpeting my work to every would-be sailor on the street. I need to know if you're right for the job first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Okay, some real choices. I'm from the city, but made my way to sea eventually. Military experience? Sailed the merchant lines. 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? I knew better than to ask. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes. Have you ever killed a man? Directly or otherwise? Yes. See. You're not married, are you? Of course not. You'd better not have a death wish. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving in the first place. Any less, and you're doing yourself a disservice. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Why don't I move? Oops. Shit. Oh, God. My capture device up here. You can see stuff better. It's to be expected, surely. I thought it blunt, but it's proven remarkable at weeding out the weak and the pretend. Let him continue. We're here to find that ship, that bottle. The Viscount. The Viscount. Viscount? I gotta look that up.
Viscount.
Viscount. All right, the Viscount. Heard of it. This is some kind of joke, right? The captain sighs and takes a deep breath before trying again. Not this, Robin. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition toward the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. If they found it, I might have heard of them. He never came back. Their last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost in the ice. 5 years is a bit late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. Right. You have my attention. The captain smiles. Here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now. Till now. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Where are they now? Dead. But their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will. And my judge of character's gotten me this far. Who's financing all this? The usual. Film and lecture rights have been sold, of course. We're in the process of signing off on a final benefactor for the expedition. They've even donated a ship. We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty. Greenwood. Generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount, Temperance. They're sister ships. Built together. Sent out in this world to die alone. Poetic. Indeed. I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So, what do you think? Not that much to go on. No, it isn't. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. Don't you need more information? What if I'm a captain worth his salt? I work with people, not professions. I'd sooner trust a good carpenter than a cruel sailor to save me from drowning. But alas, say you on the Temperance. I got a good feeling about you, Shaw. Thank you, Captain. The captain makes his way to the door and you follow. You arrive at the docks, months of the day. Before you lies a ship. The letters on its side read, Temperance. Approach. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man, overseeing the loading of cargo. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. Good to see someone else with land legs. You must be Hunt's pick for first mate. This man looking more British, so we'll do that. He extends an arm. Richard Templeton, a pleasure. Shake his hand. You accept his offer of a handshake. It's a considered shake. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I am also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. What did you specialize in? Applied botany. Not much use for a botanist on the ice, is there? Templeton glares at you. I assure you, am well equipped in all matters scientific. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. Okay, bunch of stuff. Temperature, time, week? Probably, I mean, it's just gotta be day and night right here. I doubt there will be much issue. We can only hope. but your role is more strenuous than it would first seem. Let me know when you're ready to depart. And make sure to savor these last moments on land. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. Young man over here. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. You will be gone for quite a while. It will be some time before you see the city again. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. Alright. Off the port, onto the ship. We head out. Head out to the South Pole. Striking out onto that ice. Gotta get out on that ice. Week 1. 1 week on the Temperance. Alright. I'm a fan of the ambiance so far. The writing's been alright. I didn't think I was gonna have to voice everything though. Let me grab some water. First Mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. Temperance. Never been on a ship like this before. Magnificent. Technical marvel. Elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life. Simply magnificent. Can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all of this. Certainly not the captain. Such exquisite modifications to the ship mustn't have gone cheap. I need to investigate further. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. Need to know if I can trust Captain Hunt. Heard the rumors. Drinking, desertion. There's probably a good reason he's dressed in antiques. Despite that, I find myself warming to the man. There are now 20 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. The crew are a strange lot, eclectic as the ship itself. One of the Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at the helm. That's a bad voice. That's a bad voice. Let's do a different one. Captain wants you at the helm. I'll head there now. He leaves. Captain wants you at the helm. There, okay, we'll do a scrunchy voice for that. Alright. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? Don't you have a helmsman to do that for you? Of course I do, but it's good to keep the old skills sharp. Never know what you're going to have to get your hands dirty. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm in the merchant navy, or were you stuck carrying crates? Here, why don't you have a try? All right. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves. The memory in your muscles rear themselves, and as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Easy. There. You have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Mouse wheel to zoom out. Peaceful, isn't it? Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted. Okay. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Cabin. A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor, a luxury to be had on the ice. On the desk, you can make out a variety of papers, notes, and maps, as well as the sealed letter with a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tinning Company. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Apperton Tinning Company. Okay, do I have any... No. I don't. A classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. You're unsure of its... You're unsure of any historical significance, though recognize the ship as the galleon of Captain Hamish. It was a... That sentence was more butchered than I made it. Wouldn't prepare it. Okay, the time went in a quarter. So probably moves morning, afternoon, and night, most likely. Take a seat at the end of the room. Captain joins you. Now let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed onto this expedition, ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks, if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You are only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to a post. You'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next port. A lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will end, tearing itself apart at the end of the week with no decorum left. All right. You got 1 week to keep the decorum up. We have enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, the crew will become malnourished. Unless cured, the malnourished status will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing themselves at the end of a week. Okay, a little dark. I don't mind it, but just bring a lot of vitamin C with you. More than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Colder temperatures will increase minimum fuel required at the end of a week. If you cannot afford minimum fuel, the crew will become freezing. Unless cured, the freezing status defends frostbites. If your status from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. Okay. All right, so we're so one. If any of these hit rock bottom, we're dead at the end of the week. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts out further requires a greater amount of dogs. You will rest and become available between the weeks. What is out? You're going to the South Pole. As far as I know, there's nothing on the South Pole at all. No, that's the North Pole. There's just penguins and ice in the North Pole. South Pole is Antarctica, so there's actually quite a few things to be gotten out there. Some birds, maybe eggs, penguins. Now, on to work. Corvid or Cordell? Corvid. Sailor enters. Oh, this is a different. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're headed, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? I did, sir. Ha! How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Did you know your jibboom from the... Do you know your jibboom from the bowsprit? I do. I learned it all from my dad. Your dad? He's Ward's son. Followed him on. Who's talking? Guy on the right? He's Ward. No. This man looks like he's Ward's son. Followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, Sean, Hunt ties you up. Your first mate. What should we do with him? All right, we've got a kid who wants to get out on the ice. This looks like it's not a critical decision. The critical decisions before were marked. So this might just be a fun little story. I don't know. What do you think, Alex? Putting it up to you. keeping this kid along, that means I'm going to have to do a partially offensive Indian accent for most of the time. Although most likely he's just going to have to stay along with. Keep him on board? Alright. I'll keep him on board. Hunt squints. Why? Well, we're dropping off at a port. We're not going to toss him in the ocean. We're about to stop at a port in a different spot. We would have just kicked him off the boat. You need all the help you can get? This? Yeah, this? Okay. We don't have time to accommodate this. If the boy wants to freeze to death, let him. All right, boy. Consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean. Follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain. Sir. Hi. The stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, seems the litter has a new runt. Hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. What of the father? Split their pay and their rations. That's not the dad's fault. It is his kid and his responsibility. That's my favorite one. Simple. Split their pay and their rations. Any rations the boy takes should come from his. Yes, that works. Maybe we'll make a sailor of him by the end of this. Well, that matter's sorted. We're down. Have you agreed upon my... She looks... Well, she's got the red hair. But she should be Scottish. Have you agreed upon my conditions? Quite, eh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but... You neglected to inform me that you are bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending a pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing for my whole kennel. It's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. Never before has a seller made such strong demands. Lady Cordell? A moniker given to me by the locals of the city. Account of her vernacular. I find it odd that you seem to have researched me as much as you have my kennel. I like to know who I'm negotiating with. Regardless, Shaw, she demands we allow her to come along on the expedition as a member of the crew. None on this ship have the experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you're taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, Shaw. We've just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? Should cancel the deal. We can find another buyer. I don't really see a harm in having an expert on the slick dogs. Then again, they're just dogs, right? If we're getting all 14, but we're loading up on crew members, especially with the little guy in the crew. He's probably going to cause trouble as we go on. Let's see. What do you think? What do you think? I'm thinking that we keep her. I'm thinking that we accept the offer. Might be able to tease more information out and don't see the harm. 4 of 24, yeah, and we're picking up 3 more from the scouting expedition. But 24 total. Fine for right now. Yeah, it's probably the first couple. It's not so bad. If you're so adamant, accept your offer. You can't decide that yourself, Shaw. You aren't the captain. But you are right. Doubt Lady Cordell is likely to give up in her demands. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with the extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to handle them. I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Don't expect the crew to waste time taking care of your mutts, then. I would not trust them to. I'm more than capable of that myself. I'll have a room prepared for you below deck. Oh, max crew increased. So the max crew is going to 25. She's just added herself into it. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle. He looks at you with disdain. With the mutts. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. 14 dogs. All right. We got them all. I'm sure it's possible to walk out with like 4 dogs and just kick her off the boat, but not have to worry about her. Now that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. You couldn't mistake them for another. Do you require me for this meeting? No, this isn't a matter the first officer need concern themselves with. They'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Aye, aye. Figure balancing on the mast. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belford, balanced on the ship's mast with her camera, lining up a photo. How's the view up there? You startle the woman, causing her to fall and nearly drop her camera. I'll help her down. You help her retrieve the device and untangle herself from the rigging. That was a close shave, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of this ship. Kasha Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasha. I suppose that there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there. Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's just a shot that you just cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasha Belford won the Fentler Prize, the highest honor in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. Not prepared for this. That much is obvious. The cold game. Picture that as a header. What? For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like the work of an amateur. This isn't a game, Kasha. An expedition like this isn't a light business. Kasha nods eagerly, but you can tell she's really not listening. Oh, right, of course. It is thrilling, though, isn't it? I suppose in your experience, the open ocean is the home of the mundane. Though I suppose you never traveled this far south on the merchant lines. Know who I am? Of course. I thoroughly researched the crew of the Temperance. May seem somewhat excessive, but I feel it's necessary for a proper chronicling. That and plenty of pictures. Don't worry, Shaw. You don't have a reputation that sets you apart from the rest. A celebrity like Kurt Darling's presence will dwarf any rumors that could form around you. That reminds me, he'll be joining us at the next port. I should get I just skipped it. I should get pictures of him, I guess. Kasha holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. Please warn me before doing that. Oh, sorry. It's for the manifest Hunt wanted me to put together for you. She hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. All right. We got Timmy, Mr. Runt. Killian Smurf Sanders. Oh, this is Amelia, this lady. Or the tell. And Ren. Very savvy. It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port, and the captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. Do something like that stunt in the mast again, and you'll be removed of your camera. No, that's a little harsh. Thank you, Kasha. She smiles. I'll not disturb you of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer, don't worry. You leave her to her work. Go down. Actually, what was this? You spot a large man with a youthful gait, carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright smile. Two Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. Oh no. There's a lot of guys on this. I don't know if I can do 25 different voices. This is going to kill me. Two Johns attempts to offer a handshake, but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. Right. Down below decks as well. Nothing to really explore over here. Pan crazy fast with a right click. Who's the cook? Find yourself almost knocking over a man carrying a heavy pot. Careful, careful. You almost got drenched in broth. I'm in a rush on request for Hunt. From Hunt? Is there an issue with the ship? Now, he wanted me to find the Stoke brothers for a meeting. Not surprised. Those two are the only ones I know what's going on. Those two are the only ones who know what's going on aboard this bloody ship. You hear a roar from the other side of the door. Oi, what's holding you up? The cook shakes his head with a smile and chuckles slightly to himself. He grabs the large pot and prepares to make his way to the hungry crew before turning his head to you. If you don't mind, could you carry that tray of biscuits behind me? Do I look like a cook? Do it yourself. I got time. Gonna be here all day. You grab the plate and follow the cook out the door into the table where the crew are waiting with bated breath. Upon the cook's arrival, the sailors let out a rowdy cheer. Oi, oi! The ship's cook placing the broth upon the table. Trust me, fellas, this one is worth the wait. The cook speaks with a tone of pride as he ladles the broth into the bowls of the crew. Oi, one at a time, you animals. Ward, you're awfully handsy for only one arm. Wait, this is Ward? Am I saying that? Oh, I missed it. Piss off, Junior. Get some bread here, too. Grab it fast before Tucker beats you to it. The crew laugh and are merry as Junior guides you back through the kitchen. You're Junior? Why didn't you tell me earlier? I wanted to see how long it would take for you to ask. Did he not give you a description, or were you just not paying attention to the cook? You seem popular. Well, you know what they say about the hand that feeds. Besides, half the crew I've known for years. You don't spend that much time on a ship with folk without learning all about them. Hunt wished to see you. As soon as possible. Ah, yes, good old Hunt. Never a rest on this ship, let me tell you. Especially when Hunt takes a liking to you. All the crew for dinner. I'm looking for the other Shaw boy. Forecastle appears to be locked. You hear the kennel master preparing the room inside. Supposed to find both of them. The only option is to pass the time. Really see anywhere else. Ought to be this guy, I assume. The crew have their meal. It passes in relative silence. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. Over dinner, you hear the newly picked up stowaway speaking with a one-armed man. But Da, you're lucky Hunt didn't throw you overboard. Half a mind to do that myself. Come on, Da. I'm here to help. Better know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. I won't. Possible child, Timmy. Doug Ward. Da. We got Mr. Gloss. Spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around the mid-deck, searching through some luggage that has been pulled from a cabin. Let me look in the light. Where was it now? He notices you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct? Dwight Glossley. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while settling in the cabin. Bottle of wine, actually. Perhaps one of the sailors took it? Goodness, I would hope not. My wife and I brought a bottle to celebrate with. To be saved for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. My cabin. We got the journal to look through. So far, we're just hanging out, Mr. Templeton. You spot Templeton looking out into the sunset. As you approach, he turns to you and nods. Ah, Officer Shaw. It will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the southern pole is quite the change. Noticed you weren't at dinner with the others. I prefer to eat in solitude. I have my own cabin, and I make use of it. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. There is great expectation upon us, officer. You feeling the pressure, Mr. Templeton? Cannot afford to. We all have to keep our focus. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection in the ocean surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite the sight. Wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It's important the first officer be well rested. To advance to the next week? Hey, I don't want to do that. That is not something that I want to do. I wanted to look around and find other things. Literally haven't seen half the sailors. What are you talking about, E? Alright. I guess that's what all I do. Maybe this isn't important. Okay. Oh god, I can choose. Oh no. We're stopping at a port, so we should be able to get stuff. So half and half is probably fine. Ship makes its last port at Orca Island. Cordell's sledding dogs are picking up. Scout and crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. Days are getting brighter as you move further south. Alright, 50-50. Let's go. Week 2. There's a rap on your cabin door. Wait. The door creeps open to reveal Kurt Darling, all but filling its frame, grinning ear to ear. There you are. The ship's navigator is a difficult man to miss. Stature and reputation precede him. Adorned with a slew of apparatus, this seemingly one-man expedition would be known to anyone following the heyday of exploration and the merchandising that followed. An honor. Really. A wealth of invaluable experience in such hostile environments. I wonder he's not been swept up to some other post. Fighting away from the rest of us, are you? No, that's more the captain. Alright, captain's down here. Oh, I be the captain. I talk like a normal pirate. It's like this. Hiding away from the rest of us, are you? A little bit lib in his voice. You need something of me, Kurt? I'm not the sort to demand favors, Officer Shaw. Apologies for not stopping by sooner, Shaw. It took a while to set up my team, and a great deal of the crew were quite eager to meet me. That's right, you're something of a celebrity, aren't you? I take that to mean you haven't heard of me before? Well, that is a pleasant surprise. There aren't many who haven't seen my films, particularly in this line of work. More than one fellow on this crew said my work inspired them to explore the world. Quite the honor, is it not? I'm certain you receive that praise often. This crew doesn't seem the film-going type. Well, yes, most were born on the sea to begin with. But it is good to know that even those old films can inspire. I suppose I did get distracted, didn't I? Anyway, I was hoping you'd join me up deck. Does Hunt require my presence? No, no. He finally entered the pack. I thought you'd want to see it for yourself. Yeah, go check it out. Be right behind you, Kurt. Kurt turns to walk away before turning back. Oh, and enjoy your morning. It's a good day, Shaw. Why not? Doctor. You people around. Mrs. Gloss. You note one of the science team returning to their room. Ah, Mrs. Gloss. Did you have a good rest? He nods to you. Ah, hello. I did not expect many to be up this early. Harriet Glossley. I believe I've met your husband. Ah, yes. Dwight made mention of your encounter. He's still fast asleep. He's adjusted to the ship well. I believed a walk around the ship would help acclimate myself to the waves. Perhaps it will take some more time. With that, Mrs. Gloss makes her way back to the cabin. The science team aren't used to the sea, or to the sailor folk. Quite the culture clash, isn't it? Well, I'm sure they'll grow used to them over time. Right? Head up top. The pack. Who's at the helm? At the stern, you'll notice an older sailor at the helm. The old man takes in a deep breath in the cold air before letting out a satisfied exhale. Morning. And a good morning to you. He eyes you up. Officer Shaw, right? Lefty. Call me that on account of... well, it should be obvious. He chuckles. Don't worry about the bad sight. This is all feel. Just keeping her steady. He examines you. Surprised Hunt picked from outside for his first mate. I'm surprised as well. He seems the insular type. He is. It must be something special for Hunt to look outside the ranks. You've got the experience, at least. Merchant Navy's quieter, though. Mornings like these are about the only peace I get from the younger lot. You should take these moments when you can. Lefty returns his attention to the helm. As you get older, I suppose you learn the value in quiet moments, eh? Let us hope we're just as diligent when we're old and grey. Myself before you, of course. You join Kurt at the bow of the ship. You both feel the temperance break the floes below you. Gripping the railing, he draws an enormous breath. The footing beneath rises as the ship mounts an impending ice floe. There is a moment's hesitation before a profound crack relieves the ship, cascading against the ice. He exhales. See? Nothing else like it. I assumed you'd seen everything. A younger me would have agreed with you. It's an interesting mix. Nostalgia, but never-ending new. Look at the ice. No two cracks are the same. Did you just want to show me the ice, or is there something you want to discuss? We're about a week's sail from the last known location of the old Viscount. Keep screwing that up every time. Assuming she isn't exactly where they left her, we can't take smooth sailing for granted. Same goes for this daylight. It won't remain this bright for so long once winter encroaches. Beautiful as the ice is, this course it's going to get thicker. He looks out across the white. He won't be so confident when the leads dry up and we're stuck here to the next cycle. We need to change course. Avoid the pack. You have enough supplies if it comes to that. Have you informed Captain Hunt? Won't listen to me. Thinks I've been dulled by retirement. I've probably seen more ice than he has whiskey. We have enough supplies, if it comes to that. Not the supplies I'd be worried about in that situation. People will turn on each other before they let themselves starve. Have you ever experienced the long night winter? Not pleasant to say the least. There's a chain of command. This isn't one of your adventure serials, Kurt. Certainly not. If I was satisfied with those, I wouldn't have left retirement. We're only as good as the unhappiest man, Robin. That's First Mate Shaw. Kurt humors you with a salute. Yes, officer. I'll do what I can. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Kurt nods and looks back across the ice. Anything else to experience? Go to the doctor's is locked. And after a full week, we haven't seen the doctor yet. Many of the crew are fast asleep in their hammocks. The sounds of snoring are rather obnoxious. Okay. We got our temperature gauge up here. Started off as warm. Now it's heading down. I wonder where this is going. Oh, this is cool. Definitely. Heading out towards the break, the man says. Seagulls blast off the side of the ship. Do you have any guns? Are there zombies involved? I wonder how realistic this game is. I don't know. I mean, so far they've been going straight for realism, right? There's nothing surprising about what we're going to see. Alright. Quests. Ah, Shaw. Ready for another day of work? Did you hear Kurt's advice? He wants us to switch course. Based on a true story. Okay. Zombies or things. I mean, yeah, so far I don't have any reason to believe that it would be going crazy. But, I don't know. Never know. Aye, he had a few words to share. He may have been an expert in his time, but these days Kurt is one with more money than sense. Anyway, back to work. I was hoping you'd help me work through a few more requests from the crew. You may have noticed the line pooling up outside. Everyone wants something, it seems. Call them in as you please. Alright. Corvid, Kasha, Hammond. A short, sour-faced man in engineering clothing approaches. Are you acting daft, Hunt? Not without intention. Not bloody surprised you didn't notice. Shaw, this is our chief engineer, Clive Hammond. An opinionated one. What is it, Hammond? We've hit the ice and you haven't assigned any extra men down to the boiler. You have your engineering team. And we've only got 6 arms between us. Well, I need more manpower maintaining this. Sailors. Many of the crew have their own tasks they're busy with. I know I've already assigned Smurf on the matter. The captain turns to you. How many do you think is fair? 1? 3? More. Open the crew manifest to choose how many sailors you wish to assign. Okay. Murph is already taken care of. I don't even... Okay, cool. So here's some of the specialists. This is the science team for the most part. This is me, up in shop. Resources, key items. These are the scientists. Little engineers, which we haven't seen. Scouts, which we just picked up. Lefty's on the helm, so we don't need him. We can do 1, 2, or 3. Right. We haven't talked to her yet. Why don't we put the dad and the kid on there? It's not going to be of any use at all, but at least he'll figure something out in the meantime. 2 John's John. Or Joseph. I mean, with the kid, I'm pretty much just giving him 1. So why don't we put 3? Because he needs more men. I don't really know what any of these guys are good at. So I'll go with Bren. You can take Runt. Runt's Don, Joe. You're giving me Ward. Bored with one bloody arm? Young Runt could use someone to teach him on the job. Who better than his father? Whoa, dude. Okay, the context got real good on that. Don't get me started on handing over the bloody stowaway. Would you rather none? The engineer holds his tongue. Fine. But you can tell me how right I was when we're buried under the ice. He leaves. A good spirit, that one, beneath the oil, the temper. You won't be seeing much of him, though. Prefers to burrow himself into the boiler room. Kasha? Captain? Shaw? A thought occurred to me the other day while looking through the crew manifest, and, well, it might be too late for this now that we've already entered the ice. Out with it. I thought it would be good to have individual photos of the full crew. For your report? Not only my report, it would be good reference for the manifest, but faces to the names. Much of this crew has served me for years, some decades. I have little problem putting faces to the names. Your thoughts, Shaw? A bit late, but now or never. May as well get it over with. She's been complaining about this for the last couple days. Aye, a good point. But maybe you could sound a little more enthused. Well, Belford, I see no problem there. I'll arrange for the pictures to be taken before the crew have their dinner. Thank you, Captain. In the meantime, I'll attempt to get as many individual crew photos as I can. You're still welcome to help on that matter, Officer Shaw. He departs, satisfied. All right. Corvid enters the office. Hunt, you asked for a report on how the stowaway was doing. Aye, I wanted to see if the young boy has been settling in well. He has indeed. It means another mouth to feed, but the boy works hard and doesn't ask much. He has his dad to guide him as well. I'm sure the boy's father is ecstatic. Worried sick, but happy, aye. Well, what do you know, Shaw? Perhaps we were right to keep the boy aboard. He leaves. All right. Good to have all that settled then. Perhaps you shouldn't rule out old Kurt so easily. If the man thinks that there could be an alternate path through the ice, he's free to search for it. Shaw, meet with him when you have time. Changing course or not, we'll want one of his scouts set up in the crow's nest. Take care of that, then you'll be done for the day. Right? Navigator. Talk to Kurt first. Send me up there. I'll get you a reading. The scientist eyes the man's cane and turns to you. I believe the navigator means you to send one of his scouts. The navigator clears his throat and taps his cane. Of course. If you find one of mine, they'll give us a read rightly. I'm not doing this myself. Somebody's playing something? You overhear two of the newly arrived scouting crew talking. Ah, Quailsley. Having any trouble settling in? Not too bad. I can't wait for a chance to sleep, though. The proper navigator never rests until their work is done. Of course. I take it you had no issue settling in? Not at all. The crew were a funny lot. Old Kurt certainly caught their attention. Do you think any of them would mistake Kurt and myself? I think you'd collapse from joy if they did. Perhaps. Yorick Moore and Hadron Quill. Okay, I do need to tell them to go, don't I? Who's this? He spots you. Ceases in name. Need something? Your brother sent me to speak with you. Junior. Oh, you're Shaw. Junior mentioned you. And it was good to meet you. I was just speaking to him. I'm sure he talked your ear off. Wanted us to meet. We're met now. Won't keep you from your work. Don't keep me from my break. Right. Who's this guy? Suspicious-looking sailor emerged from the pantry. The hooded sailor spots you, keeping their hands firmly in their pockets. Not what it looks like, Officer Shaw. Plek, but call me Gnomes. I'm not thieving anything. You'd best have a good explanation, then. I have a perfectly good explanation. No worries, I was just setting up a practical joke. And what is this practical joke? Not gonna spoil the surprise. It's not at your expense, if that's your concern. Have to get some enjoyment around here, don't you think? With their mysterious trap set, Gnome scurries off to the decks to return to work. Okay. The moment you enter the pantry, a bag of flour drops on your head, scattering all over your officer's uniform. The hells was that? Oh, the hells was that? Gnomes! You wipe the flour off you before continuing. You lift a crate of tins from the shelves. Did I just steal tin food? Ah, one step ahead of me. If you add those tins to the hoosh, we should be good for dinner. Best make use of this kitchen while we can. Oh, alright, we got a resource card. Plus 30 to the furnace, plus 20. Okay, so... do I have to find things to add food to it? Whoosh pot. Okay. We'll skip time. Entry's closed. For the pumps, we got nobody here. I'm basically trying to maintain and keep people from going crazy on each other. While examining the rigging of the ship, eyes notice a figure darting by, climbing on the ropes with ease. The figure lands on their feet before dusting themselves off. Their outfit denotes one of Kurt's scouting crew. Ah, no problems. He looks to you. And you are? I'm the first mate. You should address me as such. Sure. Flick, I'm one of Kurt's crew. Don't worry about my safety. I know what I'm doing, trust me. Kurt doesn't just hire anyone. Well, he didn't hire me for no reason. Got the medals in gymnastics if you're worried about my credentials. Flick jumps up and returns to scaling the rigging of the ship. Alright. Should I be scouting? I don't think I should be scouting. This guy. You spot a youthful-looking man leaning over the side of the ship, his head slumped as he looks into the icy pool below. It appears he's been visited by a spot of seasickness. Pat him on the back. You make your way to the man and reach out your arm to pat the sickly fellow on the back. As soon as your hand reaches him, he jolts upright in shock. A bespectacled young man, shaking with unease. He stares at you for a brief moment, a look of shame plastered upon his face. Sorry. Compose yourself, man. You should be able to handle the waves. Right, of course. Oh, I'm very sorry. The man turns around and hurriedly runs in the opposite direction, avoiding your gaze. Arthur Nutley, huh? This looks like it'll spend time. I guess I'll check. Oh, I assigned a person up there. Which is what he wanted me to do. She's the only one out and about. I kind of want these guys to should get some work done. Descend to the nest and take a reading. Sonny. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're heading for Viscount Island. We're here. Orca Island. The last port you made. Picked up Kurt and the scouting team. And the last known location of the Viscount. So it looks like... I don't know which way we're heading. Can we tell? We've got the compass here. So if we're heading north to swing around this giant iceberg, that seems like the strongest way to get to it. If we're heading northeast, then we're just going to die. So probably not a good idea. Straight east. This is, yeah, it's about northeast. Straight east is probably the way to go. I can't tell if the compass is the way that we're heading, or if it's just the cock of the map. Map's probably laid out, so okay. figure it out. I'm sure it'll tell me. It's not going to make me screw up my very first choice. Right? Alright. Let's pass the time. The crew have their meal. Haha, shall we toast to the ice? Aye. The days get longer, but dinner is fixed. It will see us through the long days and the darkest nights. Thanks, Kurt. Glad to have you along. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice that it's still bright light outside. You notice two sailors passing by from the dinner table. An inebriated sailor on wobbling legs, leaning on the shoulder of another. Good times, good times. Need to learn to handle your drink, Tucker. but I'm fine. My mates can carry me. Hey, Cavity. They can also drop you. Have two Johns carry you next time. You asleep? Shit. Popping in. Okay. Just knock on random doors from time to time. Look at the map where we're headed. We haven't moved. I guess we move in a week's worth of time. Oh, this is like the shifting of the ice. Oh, this was the shifting of the ice in the week 1, and then we're moving this way. The ices are merged together. Interesting. Okay. Two engineers, or rather you overhear one engineer speaking with another. Don't know how the chief could stay down there all evening. You ever see Mr. Hammond eat? I haven't. Maybe he doesn't even eat. Man's not human if he can work all day and night in that boiler. Probably doesn't sleep either. He probably sleeps. Aye, Dick, that's figurative. Right. The dogs regard her with rapt attention as she paces between them, bowl in hand. The largest joins her side as you approach. Try some. Oh, try some. I'll try it. You nearly burn your mouth in the hot broth. Spit it out. Can't help but cough up the oily broth. The dog barks and licks it off the deck. Penguin? Some blubber? Fat and proteins? You'll adjust. Fastest way to hydrate them. Was there something you needed? Just inspecting the animals. They belong here more than we do. Unlike us, they need the ice. It cools... Oh no, this is... Unlike us, they need the ice. It cools them to their paws as they run. They'd overheat otherwise. You've been on the ice for a long time. A long time, yes. Who's that beside you? This is Stanberry. Bark. Strong animal. Very. They handle stress differently. Adapt quickly. There's plenty to be learned from them. You love these animals. They need me. And you'll need them. I'll pet the dog. You ruffle its head. It tries to lick the broth from your fingers. Right. Good to talk to you, dog lady. Let's head into Captain's cabin. Nope, he's already in. Go ahead to my own. I can just finish off the week. Tain't much else for me to see. You can hear the sounds of rustling. After knocking on the door several times, it finally swings open to reveal one of Templeton's science team. Yes? Do you require my presence? I'm acquainting myself with the crew. Who are you? You should know I'm the meteorologist of this expedition. You should know I'm the meteorologist of this expedition, Andre Isaac. If I am not required for anything, I would not ask to be disturbed any further. Right? Sorry. Go ahead. We're gonna finish the week. where this takes us. Well, I already can't. Do we move at half speed? We don't move at all. Okay, we'll get there when we get there. But fuel is immediately a concern. Keep food rations normal. We don't have to worry about too much yet. Days grow brighter. Okay, well, I am immediately, if we run out of fuel or we run out of food, then people die. So I'm immediately running up against that. I didn't think it would be so fast. Out on the ice. What are we looking? We're in the middle giant ice flow. Yeah, we're just heading straight there. Nothing for it. Okay. Captain. Anything else for me to see? Down below. Got all the men. Nothing in the pantry. Nothing in the pumps. Men are just falling asleep. I'm first thing up in the morning. Alright. That's the time. Let's see how we're doing. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. I'm sure he's busy with something or other. The whole room shudders. We stop? What in the... Well, I was worried about this. Look at that ice. We'll be trapped for a while. Strong pressures. As if we didn't have enough bother. Well, no need mucking around. Let's get to work. Where's Hunt? I'll grab him. I'm sure he felt it too. Shaw, check the boiler room. I'm sure the mole man has problems of his own. Not to worry, everyone. We'll be free and moving again before you know it. Back to work. Everyone is asleep. I don't know who you're shouting to. Off to the boiler room. Oh, boiler room's down here. Captain? No. Ship's stuck then. If you're looking for Hunt, you just missed him. You're calm about this. No use panicking, is there? I'm going to check with my brother. Coal bunker. Stack of coal. Alright. Apparently how you get cards. Approach the two men. Aye, if I made any errors, I'd tell you. It's secured, don't you worry. They notice you. I'm sure you're aware of the situation. What's happening? I'm ensuring that the boiler was not damaged in the sudden commotion. And I told ye that if it was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if the furnace goes, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only one man with just a pair of engineers as assistants. Just looking at the number of valves, this seems far too much for you to handle. Maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that. I've gotten used to it by now. It will hold. Trust me. I will. I will have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying on this ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative we break free from the ice as quick as possible. Hammond eyes you. It's on his face. First mate's here, but where's the one who got us into this bloody mess? I was hoping that Templeton knew. I was informed by one of the Stokes that I had just missed him. Man who makes mistakes on the left. He looks like Scotty from Star Trek. That's probably what it's from. It's like, look, Captain, I'm giving her all she's got. I was informed by one of the Stokes I just missed him, but I have a suspicion as to where he may be now. We're on a ship, an unmoving one at that. I mean, I have no reason not to trust this guy. Apparently, the captain trusts him with his life. A man cannot simply disappear. If he's anywhere, he must be in his cabin. When you find the man, give him an earful on my behalf. Can't do it myself. Too busy keeping us alive. Templeton gives a nod. I believe you and I owe our good captain a visit, Shaw. But you should call the crew for dinner first. Routine is important, especially now. Not before we've fed this furnace. Mind grabbing some coal from the bunker, Shaw? Or are you afraid of dirty hands like Mr. Templeton over here? I already got some coal. Are you just going to keep standing there? Give us something to burn. Ask engineers to raise the heat. Nobody's freezing yet. Only -8. Right. So is it my job? Okay, so what I'm seeing so far, at least of the game, aside from making the decisions and sort of following everything along, it's what I'm doing is trying to keep the crew in good spirits or something. I don't really know. I wonder if the people that I assigned the boiler room were like what made it screw up. Like maybe we'd be getting through this just fine. Otherwise, I don't know. You emerge mid-deck to find the crew readying themselves for dinner despite the ice. Some seem nervous. Others, as if nothing had changed at all. Get a tin. Clean the pumps. No, I'm just kind of keeping control. Got anything for the hoosh? Okay. We don't have much to go off of. I'm going to have to keep it at half rations. Basically the whole time. Officer Shaw, what happened? Ship's come to a stop. I almost flung my camera into the wall. We didn't hit anything, did we? We're trapped in the ice. We'll need to break loose to get them moving again. Well, let's hope we can do that sooner rather than later. Trapped in the ice, though. That would make a good photograph. Jeez. Come on. You help. Forecastle. Pet the dog. Pet the other dog. Pet the third dog. Oh, that dog just disappeared. Officer Shaw, it would appear that we've stopped. Curious. Hunt was warned of this pathway, was he not? Even I could see the risks. Nope, that's Irish I'm flipping into. Even I could see the risks, and yet an experienced sailor carried on. I wonder what goes through that man's head. But that dog was going to stay with me the whole time. The captain's not here. Where is the captain? My quarters? No. Can I write things? No. So the captain wasn't downstairs. Oh, he said we should go on and have dinner. Which, we're already at midday, I suppose. Crew have their meal. Dinner's shared. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation. Still bright light. We didn't see him either. He didn't pass by, but his cabin door was locked when I checked. Slippery bastard. What are you thinking? No sign of Hunt, I take it. Mr. Templeton passed by, but he wasn't exactly willing to take questions. How did I lose the captain on a ship? Like, how... I mean, the ship's pretty small. There's like, what? There's 10 quarters over here. Keep it up, lads. We've set ourselves right in no time. Ah, Shaw, I just saw Templeton entering the captain's cabin. Seems Hunt's holed himself up inside. Maybe if he had a word with our good captain, he'd be willing to lend a hand. Boys out on that ice. Oh god, he's in the bath? I was informed that he was here. Where could he have hidden himself? He has to be in here. Check under his desk. I highly doubt he's cowering beneath the table, Shaw. Ah! The captain's laugh rings out from behind the door. The captain watches you both, his head swaying as he chuckles to himself. You are a surprisingly difficult man to get a hold of, Hunt, seeing that this is your ship. Ah, I know it well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. How long have you been drinking? I don't suppose you care to join? Hunt shakes his hip flask as he holds it out, whiskey sloshing and spilling from the top. And what are you, Shaw? Gonna tempt you with some sweet nectar? Fine. You'll be more than fine with a drink in you. Ah, well, your loss. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this? This ship, your ship, is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect me to do? Get the shovels out? What do you mean this isn't your ship? Or you could at least do your work. I've carried your load until now. Carrying my load is your job. That's what you signed up for, isn't it? Mr. Hunt. Captain. If you are not fit to stand, then you should retire for the night. Shaw will stand in your stead, and we can continue in the morning. And abandon my duty? No captain would do that as a fit captain. Wouldn't you agree? No. Not you, Shaw. Isn't that right? What do you think makes for a good leader? Making the difficult choices. Choices nobody else wants to make. Do you think you could live with yourself? They all act like the choice is the difficult part. Choice is easy, Shaw. Instinctual. It's not being able to sleep after. That's what they never prepare you for. But I'm serious, Shaw. To you, what makes a good leader? We don't have time for... In a word, then, what makes a leader? What does make a good leader? Understanding is out. Fan of it. Control. Control doesn't necessarily make you a good leader. Maintaining control, yeah, but usually the control comes to you. I have to go with willpower. Willpower? Explain. The power to make the decisions that will last with you. The power to challenge yourself, to exceed your perceived limitations. The ability to press forward no matter the circumstances, to never give up. Number one. And if your crew submits before you do, I don't think they'd appreciate being pushed forward in a hopeless situation. You can look to someone always pressing on against all odds and call that bravery. Others would call it fatal stubbornness. If one's to die, they'd prefer it be with their boots off, lying in bed with a full belly. Would a good leader deny them that? Speaking in platitudes will do you no good. A good leader is something more than a single rule you're told to follow. When you see one, you just know. You have wasted enough time pining philosophical. Oh, my apologies. I'll ask the real questions. Shaw, look at where we are. You honestly think we're going to survive this? I had no assumptions on returning alive. Well, you best form some. Wouldn't just be your life you're throwing away. Captain laughs. Shaw, nobody knows we're out here. That doesn't leave this room. No. Wouldn't want to upset your employer. Our benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough. If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be. None of us should be here. Old Kurt paid handsomely to join. You're just a botanist sent to keep an eye on me. Our doctor. And then me. What are we actually searching for? Hunt chuckles, gesticulating mockingly with his hands. Ghosts. Templeton opened the door. The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's of sound mind. This doesn't leave this room. Let him speak, Templeton. We're chasing dead men. Yeah, you stepped away for a second. I was chasing the captain all around the board, trying to. He's been leaving me to the duties the whole time. So apparently we're crashed here. I don't know what you saw or what you weren't. We're crashed here in the middle. Well, not crashed. We're stuck in the middle of the ice, and low on rations, low on food, which is that'll be fun. Yeah. All right. Let him speak. I wish to know more. It's all right, Robin. And then just walk out. Go on now, Shaw. Be all right here. The captain's passed out. Templeton. Captain Hunt needs his sleep. It would appear the pressures of command have greatly affected him. Find some rest yourself. The crew have their commands. Clear your head. We will continue on the morn. What else we got in terms of people? Been cool to talk to. We've got some mutiny unrest going on with Junior and his brother. They're pretty unhappy. We got a drunk sailor. Let's see. Let's see where we're at so far. For everybody. I believe this is the doctor, which we still haven't seen. Two Johns is he's a tough guy, big carrying boxes. He's a happy, jolly sort. We got the kid and the dad. We have Gnomes, who's just playing jokes. Loves playing jokes. Lady or guy, can't really tell. Harold Lefty Turner. Hello. Well, you've been on the sea for a long time. Mostly trustworthy. I think he's deployed. Not sure where they are. Then we have a couple of the scouts, a couple of jerks, and a gymnast. The engineers, which this guy doesn't talk much. This guy talks a lot. Scientists, who all seem pretty dopey. Man and his wife. And then specialists aboard the crew. All right. Let's move on. We met just about everybody except for the doctor. You awake to a room awash with green. -16 available crew. What? There's a loud banging on your door and a familiar voice speaks from behind the wood. Shaw, are you in there? Shaw! Hammond, what's going on? Why is everything green? Never mind the green. The boiler's in serious trouble. Pumps need manned and we need to stop this whole system overheating. And I don't need to tell you, if the furnace goes, we go. What am I supposed to do? You're the engineer. Well, I couldn't bloody find Hunt and you're the next best thing. I need someone's authority to take action. Now bloody give it to me. Okay, Hammond, what's your plan? What do you think the plan is? We need to find the captain. Now. Okay. What is going on? Kasha rushes up, holding her camera tight as the ship rumbles. What's happening? Are we going under? Not if we can help it. Out of the way. It's safe to go up top, right? That Aurora, it's a shot I can't miss. Kasha steps back before snapping a photograph of the ensuing chaos. The lights of the Aurora flicker over the pale ice. Dogs, the animals are barking furiously at the green that has invaded their territory. Calm, Stanberry. What's happening to the ship? Nothing I can fix, don't fret. Then I shan't stop you, Mr. Hammond. Have you seen the captain? I've been resigned to this room, and I'll have to stay as such, lest you wish to add a frightened kennel to your current problems. Oh, ma'am. Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Okay. The captain has been basically gone since yesterday. Passed out in the tub, drunk, and now we got Captain disappearing. Even the tub is empty. Why would you expect him to be in the tub? Not important. This doesn't make sense. The man seemed barely fit to crawl himself into bed earlier. What? Hammond turns to you. All right, Shaw. Captain's missing. You're in charge. It's good to hear. Don't get a big head about it. Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. They're no doubt scared, confused. It's your duty to keep them calm, maintain order. Hammond glares at Templeton. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room now. We've already wasted enough time looking for that bastard Hunt. If you storm down to that room, all you'll be doing is inciting a panic. You need to calm the fears of the crew, maintain an air of focus. Lie to them as the ship goes down? Not at all. Not at all. Instead, to assure them that we know how to remedy this matter. You do know how to remedy this matter, Mr. Hammond. Aye. And we need to be quick. I don't have time to worry about some stupid sailor's feelings. We've got a bloody ship to save. Well, it's as you said. Officer Shaw is in charge. The decision is yours. All right. Whew, big branch. So if the crew mutinies, so either the boiler's going to blow, or the crew is going to lose their mind. It seems to be the break between the two. So what's going to be the most important thing? The crew haven't really had anything to run up against at this point, but they do seem a little wary, at least from what I've seen. The boiler, on the other hand, if the boiler blows and we're stuck here, I mean, how long does it take to repair? Like, it's not going to matter. Hammond's fault? Yeah. In Hammond, like, you already don't trust this guy. Which, the captain trusts him with his life, but the captain is now gone. I am apparently the captain as a mate. Here's the better question. Is Hammond trustworthy enough that we won't be able to make it unless I rush to the boiler right now? I'm thinking the crew can be a little pissed off, but if we don't get out of the water, we're screwed regardless of the boiler. Hammond is right. We can't waste any more time. The boiler won't wait for us. Fine. I will keep the crew at bay then. Come on. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Anybody? As more of the crew notice you and Hammond descending below, the whispers began. Lost decorum. Soon the crew will pick up the pace, walking directionless with hurried footsteps. Speak to Kurt. Kurt approaches. Boiler trouble, I take it? I'll lend a hand. Not when you're walking with that cane, you're not. I have enough strength to... Go tell the crew to hit the lower decks, as many as possible. Let's go, Shaw. Time to save this blasted ship. You descend the ladder. Ahead you can see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold. Trying to get in? Same, door's stuck. Pull harder, you bastards, we need to get in there. Can you help us? Metal door unsticks. Rimley looks to you before darting off into the dark. Where's that bloody idiot running off to? To sound the alarm. Bloody hells. Let's get moving. You enter the boiler room. As you enter, Hammond's engineering team are hard at work. The larger of the two engineers loses grip of their valve as steam begins to shoot out, causing Hammond to dash forward. Watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time. Alright. So one of the engineering crew would have been lost, most likely. What's the word, Chief? Keep those valves pumping. We need to avoid a water hammer. We won't be making it off this ship. Shaw, the rest of the crew aren't here. Grab a valve and start turning. Oh, God. This one? Pump! You feel the ache in your muscles as you continue to push the valve, keeping the pressure at bay. The furnace rumbles and sputters, hemorrhaging fuel. Oh, boy. Keep turning, doing the best you can to keep the pressure at bay. Could be at this for hours. Shit, where's the rest of the crew? God help. Good. The fuel is out. Furnace rumbles and sputters. Get me coal and turn those valves. Pull. With the furnace. We are moving sailors onto the valve. Right, Two Johns is the strong man, so we'll get him on it. They grab the valve. Over here, we've got... Who else do we have for the... So Tucker was the drunk man. And Cavity said that he wouldn't be able to carry Tucker around. We've got an old man, we've got a kid, we've got a man with one arm, who is this guy. This is the doctor, which I haven't even met, but he seems pretty... we'll get Tolson, Mr. Drunk. Huh? There we go. Grab the valve. With enough hands working the boiler, we're going to fight back the potential water hammer. Someone's going to have to hold the furnace in place. God, with the strongest people on the valves. The kid's not going to be able to do it. Get lefty on it. The room shakes. Water hammer. When a person gains a severe status effect such as wounded, scurvy, or frostbite, they will become invalid and unable to work. Ship is saved. Plus 20 decorum, good. As the crew gives assistance to the wounded turner, you feel your muscles tense. You fall back, collapsing from exhaustion. As you lay back, all you can hear are a pair of panicked voices. Where the hell is Captain Hunt? It's gone. Oh, that was the prologue! I just got a prologue achievement. Okay, well, the fuel rations is... We're gonna freeze to death. We don't use any fuel. People are gonna hate it. Yeah, stressful as hell for the prologue. Barely have enough food to last. The fuel rations are gonna be gone entirely. But I've got decorum to spend. So it's going to be freezing. It's going to get worse as time goes on. I'm thinking half and 0. Bring the decorum down a little bit. But at least we'll have enough to live. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. The Aurora passes. Temperance is saved from sinking. Did our captain walk out on the ice? Temperance camp, where we're stuck as well. 10 available crew. You're alone in the captain's cabin. Out across the deck can be heard the commotion of the crew. Word has spread quickly that Captain Hunt is missing. Templeton slips in through the door. Shaw. Let the cold in. A difficult request, Shaw. Hunt is still missing. And he isn't alone in that part. Max crew decreased to 28. Sanders, Sparrow, and Gren were also unaccounted for. Leah Sparrow. Joseph Grin. The oldest member of his crew, as is a sizable food and fuel supply and one of the larger lifeboats. Oh boy. You and I are not naive. It seems quite clear what has happened here. How's the rest of the crew? They're confused. The former captain is no longer with us. You understand what that means, Shaw? That would be Captain Shaw now, I take it. Not quite yet. A new captain must be selected by the crew. As first mate, you have the most clear argument to take that role. I would have expected that role to be inherited. Okay, how do I argue for that role? Your presence in the face of Hunt's absence is an argument in itself. It would hold a vote as soon as possible. Carpenter, grimly. He is still loyal to Hunt, and many of the sailors will follow his vote. All. Though I can assure you that you have the vote of myself and my scientists. Kurt and his crew are like to support you as well. I'm unsure where the engineers will side. They're likely loyal to their pay. Turner is still recovering from their steam burns, which may end up working in favor. And the civilians are a mystery. But I believe when all is said and done, you will just about make the vote. My only competition could be dead for all we know. Loyalty runs deep among this lot. They're waiting outside Shaw in the test chamber. Scared. Don't know where to turn. You and I both understand the importance of maintaining decorum. Though time seems dire, remember, there is a rescue ship on its way. Huh? Even if the Temperance falls, we still have a potential escape? What? Why do we have a rescue ship coming? 35 weeks. The ship will arrive at Viscount Island in 35 weeks from now. We should focus on surviving that long. That is all we need to do, Captain. Oh my God. I don't have enough food for today. I don't have enough food for today. People are going to kill themselves tonight. Are you kidding me? The relief could become trapped just like us. That is always a risk, particularly here in the Pale Passage. That does not mean we should assume as much. We should assume the same fate does follow them. Another 35 weeks, Captain. Keep it in mind. Have this. A fancy-looking hat. Hunt's hat. He left it behind in his cabin. Tells us what we need, doesn't it? Take it. +1 captain's hat. Choice. I choose to willfully observe reality. Suggest you do the same, Captain. The scientist refrains from... Out with it. I think it's best we declare that the captain and the missing crew are dead. There's no need for us to complicate things any further. I won't lie to them, Templeton. Leaders lie. Get used to it. Crew are waiting for you on the deck. Hunt's ledger is gone. Still drops of frozen whiskey. Alright. Rest of the crew. Whew, boy. Oh, God. 35 weeks we're going to have to sit out here on the ice, huh? Sit out here on this. Oof. Trapped in the middle of the ice. We have 3 food. We have barely any fuel. We're going to have to heat up to go on. The hushed voices become more distinct as you make your way back out into the open air. You notice the absence of Turner. The crew members notice you and stop. Their attention ripples across the deck. Attention! It should be clear by now that Captain Hunt is no longer serving his post. As such, we should vote in the new captain. I nominate Officer Shaw for the role. A clear choice as first mate. The Wood of Hunt. Do not see him among us. Do you? Don't see a body. He's still out there. Don't know what happened. Something we can discover. For now, someone has to take the reins of command. All in favor of Officer Shaw? He abstained. Alright, we got the science team from me. We got the civilians. Patted him on the back. And Kurt's crew. Those loyal to Hunt. With the kid? Oh, okay. Kasha, barely hitting it. I don't know if there was any way for us to be able to help it, but the fact that one of the crewmates that would have voted for Hammond, or would have voted for Hunt, chose to abstain, probably for the best. You've been confirmed as the captain. Well, the ayes have it. Shaw should be acting captain from this point forward. Acting in Captain Hunt's stead. The crowd look to you expectantly. Templeton gives you a knowing nod. A moment passes in the cold as they await your next words, curious murmurings scattering between the crew. I need to talk to them now. Captain Hunt is no longer with us. As they look to you, it's not long before the obvious question spills from a crew member's mouth. Where is Captain Hunt? Captain Hunt abandoned us. Leave it vague. Tell the truth. So I'm going to turn, with he's dead, I'm going to turn the crew against us. Because they're going to think I'm lying. But they wouldn't be as upset. Shocking them with the truth might be the better option, but that'll put abandoning us in their mind as well. Dead tells them that if they leave, they're gone. And pussyfooting around ain't gonna do nothing. I'm thinking of saying that he's dead. Number 3, no longer with us. Number 2 and number 3 to me is the same. Number 3 is letting people make assumptions. It's probably the least stressful, though, out of both choices. I'm going to let people make assumptions. Half lying, half truths, letting people make up their own decisions with their own mind as to what they're already thinking rather than confirming or denying. As I said, they're with us. Captain Hunt is dead. The crowd immediately cut to silence. Thank you, Templeton. They look to Templeton, some back to you after. Okay. He wasn't, Who's gonna leave it? Shh. We can't not make a choice here. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna lie to him. Lie to him that he's dead. Mr. Templeton's telling the truth. He is indeed dead. Whispers break out among the crew. Silence hangs in the air. Did anybody take issue with me taking charge? No. Definitely not asking that. I know you're all scared. You'd be a fool not to be. The crowd begins to bubble up once more, with more and more questions coming to the surface. Members of the crew start speaking out one by one, with a question thrown your way in quick succession. How are we supposed to survive out here? Is help coming? What about our pay? Will we still be paid? Our immediate priority, we'll have to rely on each other out here. Everyone will have a role to play. We were all brought onto this crew for a reason. Time to exercise those skills. I know this isn't what we signed up for. Gods know this isn't what we signed up for. Stick with me, and I'll see us through. What of those lost, Captain? Those lost are... A memorial service will be held once the ship is freed from the ice. Understood. Well, you heard the captain. Get to it. The crowd dissipates, returning to their roles aboard the ship. You pass Templeton. Don't ever undermine me like that again. Or nod back. I don't want to be a Templeton simp. But he did make the right call. Having to make the choice. Ignore? Just walk back, just spit on him. Fuck you, Templeton. Shaw, or should I say Captain Shaw. Hunt. True shame what happened to him. Still, no good dwelling. I have confidence you'll take up the mantle well. We'll see. It's no good to be cynical, Captain. Oh, fuck. I didn't even think. I just clicked something random. Need to set an example. You'll keep your chin up, they'll raise their heads in turn. Oh. I suppose congratulations are in order. I hope you're prepared for the task at hand, Captain Shaw. Why did you abstain during the voting? I'm not a member of this crew. It did not seem right for me to weigh in on the matter. Okay. There should be no hesitation, Shaw. You are the captain now. You must carry that authority instantly. Best that we carry out the daily routine as normal, so that you are capable in that role. You should take the day's requests immediately before seeing to our resources. Alright? Saw the duties of the captain firsthand while serving Hunt. You're acting captain now. It's time you take up that mantle. Line is forming at the door. No surprises. Take them as you may. Junior first. It's he and his brother are the most likely to cause problems. Shaw, the ice looks unbudging, doesn't it? It would seem that way, yes. Crews seem to think so. They think if we don't intervene, the Temperance will never get freed. If you're suggesting breaking the ice, I can assure you that won't work. I'm not. They are. No intervention is going to break up the ice enough to free this ship. Putting others to work on that is simply a waste of manpower. Aye, maybe. Scared, though. Worried. They just want to feel like they tried something. Getting out there and pushing forward, it's going to eat into our food resources and our people. But it is going to raise spirits. I think that would be for the best. We're at the very beginning. We're at our highest. We need to keep morale high, even if it's not a particularly great idea. Wounded. Missing. Rufus missing. Not all the favorability. Ordell hates me so much. Oh, God. Kurt likes me at the very least. But the specialists are the people that I need to keep. Brimley, Jr. Okay. All these guys. Alright, so we're gonna need to get a couple people swinging. So why don't we get... I don't want any of the scientists doing it. This is man's work for swinging out stuff. So let's get a couple of the scouts to do it. You already worked. What wash? What does that mean? And cavity. Go raise spirits, it's worth the attempt. Agreed. I'll see you for dinner, Captain. Don't forget the hoosh pot needs fed. Hammond? Saving that boiler was only the start of our troubles. Have you seen the state of this bloody ship? It has certainly seen better days. She's bleeding in the lower decks. I believe the older Stoke is attempting to rectify that. We need to stockpile as much fuel as we can. If the furnace runs out by the end of the week, we die. If we spend too long on this ship, we die. If we don't stockpile enough fuel for the winter, we die. Get me some coal. Get it in the furnace. I'm afraid he's not wrong. That coal bunker is our only source of fuel for the time being. Until we can procure alternatives, we should assign crew to shoveling whenever possible. Captain, I brought the kennel master with me. This is something you will both want to hear. I have a strong suspicion on what this matter is. I was planning to speak with the captain on it myself. Fortunate happenstance then. Captain, I know these conditions well. I've seen them before. Any idea of the Temperance being free to the ice anytime soon is a pipe dream. We need to press on. We need to become aware of our new environment. Trust me, Captain, we'll be living off of it for quite some time. Suggesting we live off the ice? I'm not suggesting it. I'm pointing out a necessity. The dog sleds will need to be exercised regularly. And there's no better way than to engage in hunting. We're quite lucky, despite the circumstances. Now is the peak time for hunting and navigation. Navigation? Traversing the ice might be a possibility in the future. We need to be prepared for that. If we're to survive out here, we need to know what lies ahead. These are uncharted territories, Captain. We have no idea of where we are. The current rations are not set to last forever either. Send any hunting party to me, if you please. My dogs and I will ensure their survival. Nope, that's fucking Irish again. I keep flipping in Irish for her. My dogs will ensure your survival. Same sentiment for myself and any scouting teams. If you wish the great unknowns to be braved and charted, I'm your man. You need to know what lies ahead. Keep looking forward. Right. Before dinner, you should be sending out to our first sledding team. I also believe it's good time you gave our good doctor a visit. We'll still have wounded from the night. We will still have wounded from the night of the Aurora. Their wounds will need attended to before we get to work. And I doubt I need to remind you of this, but we need every hand available. Don't be afraid of assigning my team for some manual labor. They'll complain, but they'll work. Oh. It did seem familiar. I finally placed you. You have you? Yes, I remember seeing you compete. Soren Killiper, you were quite the gymnast. I'm surprised to see you in this line of work. Not too many gymnasts carry long careers. You did quite well when I saw you at the Summer Games. I recall you placed. I don't recall winning. Just hanging out, having a good time. Hunt is really gone. Hard to believe he went under so suddenly. And he was drunk. Could easily have stumbled over. And what about Smurf and Corvid and Joe? Who knows? Corvid owes me 5 gilst. Don't think you'll be seeing it soon. Hunting parties up here, I assume? Nope, doggo petting. How's that ice? Oh, this is doggo petting. Okay, we're stuck out in the middle of it. All right. So, we've got probably the scouts. Yep, we got the scouts here. Engineers there, sailors there. All right, they've all got their reasons to be here, so we'll go ahead and scout. Send the dogs out. Oh, we got whales. Send any amount of people to gain that many animal resource items at the end of the week. So we're getting blubber for fuel, I assume. Get 3 back, depending on how much you send out. We'll send the dad and his kid. Crab eater seal. And why don't we send scientists out? He needs some time off the water. Down to hunt. Good. This is all scouted out. I could send another scout out. There's really not much else to do. Although we'll probably need to keep some people when we're sending them out. Let's see. Did I say captain, right? I thought your name sounded familiar. Sailed the merchant lines as well. Think we served on the same ship a couple of times. Good to see a fellow merchant navy veteran among the crew. Aye, you know the struggle as well. Shame we never fully crossed paths. Still, small world. Good luck, Shaw. Alright, I'll check out the doctor in a moment. Be able to get the food, talk to a few people, find nothing in the pumps. Cures crew of freezing. I think our crew is freezing yet. Food. Okay, so I assume I'm going to need to have some people on hand for stuff that's going on. So if I assign everybody to go do stuff on the ice, then I'm going to run out of people for whatever's going to go on in the middle of the night. If I don't send people out to get stuff, hunting the seals, getting food, and getting blubber is probably going to help with the fuel for the most part. What the doctor's all about, but prepping the hoosh is the only way that we're going to be able to keep our food from keeping going. And we can get some coal down here. So we've got like a basic amount of energy to go on for the whole part. Cool. And that's probably going to be all that we get per week just automatically. Communicating? Oh, this is photography. She showed up for like half a second. You see that? Where our photographer lady likes to chill. I wish I could talk to her. Officer, Captain Shaw, I suppose I could get used to calling you that. I was asking the crew if anyone had seen Hunt or any of the deserters last night. Single soul. I know the man knows the ship well, but that seems odd. Do you think the crew could be lying? Wouldn't accuse anyone of that, but it's very unlikely he wasn't seen by anyone. I suppose the boiler troubles caused a great deal of distraction. Alright, doctor. Oh, this is the doctor. Okay, I have met him before. Your presence seems to startle the young man inside, the rattle of dropped forceps ringing. Oh, goodness. Captain now, isn't it? Captain Robert Shaw. It's good to meet you. Dr. Arthur Nutley. Dr. Nutley. Dr. Arthur Nutley. That's it. It's good to meet you, Arthur. Nutley gives a weak smile. Thank you. It's good to properly meet you. I suppose I seem a little scatterbrained at the moment. It isn't the norm. Recent circumstances have been trying. The inclination towards seasickness is no help. Turner. The steam burns they suffered from the furnace are severe. If you let me take a look, I can do my best to alleviate their pain. Is there nothing more you can do? I wish there was, but there's no cure for these kinds of injuries. Right, I'm just talking shit on everybody. Everybody's loyalty is just going straight down. Right, this is the extent. At this point, all I can do is wait. Captain Hunt, do you think he may still be out there? There's a chance, however slim. Perhaps we'll run into him again. No, that's ridiculous. Never mind. Apologies, I'm rambling. I suppose you wanted an update on the crew. Report would be nice. Mostly scraps and scuffs. As for the dogs, you're better asking, uh, the kennel master. It's fine. I wouldn't expect you to be a veterinarian. Good. Please don't. I haven't taken well to the dogs. I'm unsure how to carry myself amidst most people, and animals are more quick to judge. Ordell herself is harsher still. But you can rely on me for any human medical issues. Nutley pauses for a moment. Is everything, good? I mean, is someone coming to rescue us? Everything's under control. He nods expectantly. Nutley keeps his head low. Is there anything I can do for the crew? Use medical comforts to instantly cure all crew in the med bay. We gotta get our boy in the med bay. On bed rest. I can get a couple people to make medical comforts. I'd like to send the scientist team. Squad. I don't think these guys are gonna be any good at it, so. Oh, I need 3 people. Gnomes is going to cause trouble. I don't know anything about Tashi. Keep one of the engineers around just in case, but we'll get him in. Fun little bugs. Yeah, try it again. No. Anybody else? Somebody that knows what's going on? It won't let me assign someone. And try one more time. Oh, it is ask the scientists. Okay, I have to get all the scientists to do it. That's why. Alright, that's all I got. I got my man's on bed rest, which, thank God, he got blasted in the chest. As for exploring, you could get 3 more dogs sent out. I kind of want Gnomes off because he's fucking around a lot. Oh, I have to assign a scout in order to do it. Okay. Well, cool. Sending the dudes out at the beginning of the day to fight things was dumb. Scouts in order to be able to do it. So I'm basically screwed from where I sent dudes at the start. Okay. So from here, we get people at least in the pumps. Each assigned person will instantly cure a random person of freezing. Nobody's freezing yet. We can get people working. General. What else can we do? Pantry is nothing because we got the... Oh. I can assign people. Gather supply. Just general food prep. Okay. The scientists at least to food prep. Scientists. Well, no, the scientists won't do anything much over him, but that's fine. Work. Cool. I'll keep the rest of the crew. Unless we can get people assigned shoveling coal, which we can. Can something be done in the boiler? Coal goes in, we stay alive. Feed the furnace. Those are the resources. Alright, cool. So we can put people in here to immediately start getting us coal. I don't really know any problems that we're having so far. I want to keep an engineer on hand, but I don't want all of my sailors doing stuff. So let's confirm this. Get the coal in the burner. Oh, that. Alright, that's not so bad. So we're in a sort of better spot. Let's see. Feed the hoosh. We got 1, 2, 3. So our food and our fuel are actually quite good. So we can keep things rolling pretty well. We're going to have to pass the time. More than likely, that's going to cause some people to be pissed off, but I think that's all we got. So this is the general flow of the game. We need to deal with problems as they come. We need to assign crew members in order to pick up certain things. And we probably need to have people available to deal with events as the events come towards us. I don't know any idea what the events are going to be. Then we give a toast to our new captain. Hear, hear. The crew return to their posts. Nighttime. Let's see what everyone has to say. You get used to it, lad. But you wanted to work. If I can do it with one arm, you can do it. They're always saying that. You're a taller one, aren't you? Thank you for noticing. Been this big since I was 15. Consider doing films. You have the stature for it. Oh, I can't act. Acting isn't part of it. You stand there, cut a nice silhouette, and you'll be a star. That sounds awfully easy, doesn't it? It can be. Trapped here for a while. I don't like the ship's chances either. Man just likes to get drunk. Talk to Junior. Evening, Shaw. I'm proud of what I've been able to cook up for the crew lately, considering the rations. Though I do wish I had something better to work. Kill for a good beef steak. You make excellent work. You do excellent work, Junior. You have a knack for this. I've been told. Hunt would say he couldn't eat a bite that wasn't prepared by me anymore. I'll still talk to him? Okay, can't. Do you need me for something? I don't want him to remind him of Captain Hunt. The crew seems to like you. I wonder if you had any advice staying on their good side. Junior's better with people. I don't know. Be good to them. That's all it takes. Well, boys, anything? Talk to Hammond. Bloody cold, isn't it, Captain? Don't know how you spend your time away from the furnace. You're used to the warmth of the furnace. It'd be even colder without your hard work, Hammond. He probably wouldn't like it. Oh, don't make it sound like I'm the only one benefiting. Okay, I was talking shit on him. Sorry about that. Asha's down here. Good evening. I was growing used to sleeping in a moving ship before we became trapped in this ice. I want to have a good night's sleep until we return to land. Alright, this is the shitty one. This is sort of the shitty one. Something we can all look forward to. That seems middling, so you'll grow used to it. Oh. Okay, apparently not. I don't know how to be friends with anybody. I'm just pissing off everybody. Herr Doctor. Something you needed? Good to see you aren't losing your focus. I'm not trying to hit on him. Thank you. I'll try. Okay. Templeton? Good evening. It will be some time before we see rescue. Perhaps you should be endearing yourself to your crew. Alright, evening is making friends with people. Or, in my case, insulting people all the time. Notice you're quite invested is mean. Spend more time with the sailors. For now, I'd like to learn more of you. Needn't do that. I would prefer to continue with our work. Fostering personal relationships is not a concern. Yeah, I'm really striking out, huh? Evening! Cold one, isn't it? I used to think I was growing used to the cold. As the years have gone on, the elements have only grown harsher on the body. Getting old. Oh. Okay. I thought maybe... Dude, I am crashing and burning. Nobody's gonna like me at the end of this. Oh, this sucks. I don't mind it. They've worked hard all day. They're owed their leisure. Sailors ought to remember we all need our sleep. You guys won't stop crying. No food. Nope. Let's talk to Cordell. She's gonna wonder about her dogs, and I have to be nice. I presume you're here to see the dogs. How are they faring? They've already acclimatized, though recently they've been exhausted and in need of rest. No surprise, our conditions keep changing. They grow used to one state before being thrust into another. One refuses to eat and has been losing weight rapidly. I assume the change in scenery has affected it. They need the rest, just as any person. They tend to be more reliable, however. They'll grow on you after they realize that you're staying alive. Yeah. They'll like me a little bit more. Well, no, dude, they'll have no idea. They'll be like, well, food's showing up. Great. Listen, dogs are wonderful. I love dogs. Dogs don't put context clues together to figure things out. Okay? They get food in their bowl and they'll be happy enough. As long as they're not eating people, as long as they're doing their work, I'll be happy with that. They tend to be more reliable. This might be prying too much. Prefer dogs to people is... This is just insulting her outright. I'll ask her a little bit more. With people, with dogs. Regardless, I will say it's a matter of both. Captain Shaw, you recall my conditions with Hunt, do you not? Like it was yesterday. My demand was that I work here, with the dogs. Your people may help with the sleds, but they are not my responsibility. They are not my people. I am holding up my promise with Hunt. I do not intend to join your crew. If I get lost in the ice, you're the next Captain Stanberry. Yes. Give Stanberry the captain's hat. No, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. All right. We're set for the night. Got enough food to deal with everything. But most of the crew is occupied with a whole bunch of stuff. All right, now beginning to see problems. So if I run the rations at nothing, then some crew members will start freezing. If I run the food at nothing, 2 crew members will become malnourished. I've got food to deal with it and loyalty to spare. So for the most part, I think running the food normally will be okay. I've got a fair amount of crew to deal with picking the food up anyway. Hopefully we'll be able to get seals and stuff. I don't really know. I'm not sure what getting the seals did. We'll keep running it normal. Crab eater seals. Crew's back. Dog's arrested. He's healed. Right? Cool. So it looked like sending the dudes out was just generally a good choice. Can I send them out at the beginning of the day? I can. But they may be needed, so we'll do our best to get on the boat. Next day. All right. Well, let's just check below decks real quick, see if there's anybody to talk to. Anybody? Nope, everybody's asleep. All right. What's on the docket? Week 5. We only have 34 weeks to go. Oh, all right, Junior. Word back from the attempts at freeing the ship. Such a report necessary? As you can see, we're not moving. Crew kept at it for a week, but now we're calling it a day. A waste of time and resources then, as expected. Wouldn't be so sure. End of the day, at least now the crew can say they've tried. Give it their all. Something in that. True? Good day, Captain. Well, as good as can be under the circumstances. Good day. I'll be sure to spare you any more obligatory small talk from here. In truth, there is something I've been meaning to ask of you. It's a matter I brought up with Captain Hunt, though he was less receptive. I'm not merely interested in the story of this expedition. I'm interested in the story of the people on this expedition. When the crew have the downtime, I would request that I be allowed to conduct interviews with them. I would like to know more about them. Maybe learn more about what happened to Hunt. Oh, gosh. I mean, it's during the crew's downtime, right? It's not really an issue. I don't know. I need help on this one. Tell her to buzz off. I'm trying to keep her genuinely interested. It's not going to be a problem. But, like... I don't know. She's not really doing it. She's just kind of like... It'll give some loyalty. When she's at least able to do that. You know? She'll be able to, It's going to cause problems. I know that's going to cause problems. We don't have time. I mean, that's basically me telling her no. I don't think she's going to come back. She's going to hate it, definitely. I think this is not a good one, but it is something that I need to know. She's just like taking up people's time. I'm sure I'm not the only one to find use in knowledge. The crew are like strangers to you. You can stand to learn some of them as well. I'll add anything relevant I find to the crew manifest. Send them to the lower deck room and I can get started. Okay. That's a lot better. So I can pull people in for the interview that I'm having any particular problems with if I'm likely to know their loyalty levels and things. All right. Yeah, let's go for it. Thank you. Mark anything useful I discover in the crew manifest. Send them to the red room, lower deck when you can. Gnomes, troublemaker. Word around the crew was that we might end up having to move the ice. If we can't free the Temperance anyway. It would be wise to gather what we want to take off ship with us if we do. We'll need to prepare for what could be the inevitable. Most of the tools are in the lower deck storerooms. The metal doors need some work to open, but it's worth what's inside. Okay. Captain Shaw, Mr. Templeton. It would appear that some of the crew have taken an interest in the transmission radios we have on hand. It is likely many of their first time seeing this technology, and they have odd ideas of what they're capable of. They believe another ship may pick us up if we monitor them. Ridiculous. They do not have the range to pick up another, not out here. I said as much, but Mr. Turner was adamant that we spend the night monitoring them regardless. Even sent me to run the concept by you, Captain. If it won't work, it's a waste of time. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to assign anyone listening in. It's going to keep people's spirits up. Like, this is literally just a bad idea. It's not going to do anything. It would make people happy, though. No, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. I'm able to send people out. But I sort of had enough people to do everything that I wanted yesterday. I mean, I guess we could explore the ice a little bit more. Alright, it's worth the attempt. We want all the scientists on it? Does it have to be scientists? It does have to be scientists. Shh. And dogs. It said dogs, but we're getting 18. Yeah, we're going down on decorum. It's worth the attempt, even. You got it. I'm just losing. It won't work, but at least this way the crew will be certain. Sorry, someone just died? What happened? Oh, demoralized. Otherwise, they will ponder the alternative until we're all frozen. Oh god, it was just telling me about demoralization. I didn't see that. No. Question persists as to how long the Temperance can hold. Be able to wait out the ice. If there's no change by next week, abandoning the ship may be considered. Feel that air. Nothing better than a cold wind to keep you awake. Ah, duck, you're... How many hours of sleep do you get a night? Well, on second thought, better not hearing it. I already know it isn't enough. Okay. Hop up, send people out on the way. This is demoralized. I didn't see what demoralized was. I wish I actually knew. Damn. Okay. I don't think rest is going to help out with demoralizing. But at the very least, I can send a few people out for food. Nobody's freezing. We've got some storerooms. We need to send someone to the tools, which I assume Gnome's going to be best at doing that. Full of various tools. The water flooding in from behind. You have time to grab 2 items. And lemons? That's going to help get rid of scurvy, actually. Let's do that. No. Digging tools. You should make quick work against pressure ridges and thick snow when hunting and scouting. The furnace may be better obtained. Doctors should be able to see more than 1 patient at a time. I'm going to go with the lemons to prevent scurvy, because that's going to be a food problem at some point. And digging tools. If we're abandoning the ship at some point, then... Room is flooded! Rendering the rest of the items useless. See. So we're super underwater. Assign somebody down here. Different photos. Oh, look at this. This is cute. Random photos she's taken. Alright. We will take care of this in a moment. Well, actually, let's do this first. Because I need to get a crew member on. I don't care about the kid. This is the guy I know nothing about. Right here. Vern, Tashi. Alright, interview him. Cool, we got a little decorum. So helping her out is going to make people happy. General. Let's head up top, send people out on that ice. Gotta get out on that ice. Send all of our people to scout immediately. Let's do that. That's what I want to do first, to send the scouts out to check stuff. What is this? 3 decorum as well as research for that one. This one is animal resource items. Sending people out on that. This is more research. Already, scientists are all back here. We've explored basically as much as we can at this point. So I'll choose to send things out at least for food. Don't have anyone that really needs bed rest. I mean, maybe. Didn't see what demoralized. Yeah, I like the art a lot too. I like the art of the backgrounds and the UI a lot. The art of the people is pretty good. Mostly a fan of them. I wish this demoralized here. I can't click on it. I can't do anything with it. Say he's already locked in, right? I can't send him anywhere. UI is really good. Kind of wish there was like a boat picture somewhere. Like I could pop out a little boat here and I could just click where I wanted to go instead of having to go, you know, 1 by 1 through each one. But overall, it's really nice. Very pretty. All right. So we got to get more food. We get 1 automatically. I want to send 4 people out on the ice. Those things. Which means we'll have 3, or we have 8. 8 engineers. And Cavity. Actually, Cavity and his good friends. John's by himself. He'll cheer him up. Boiler room. Oh, sorry, coal shoveling. We'll send buddies. And actually, 2 buddies we'll send out on the ice. We'll send father and son here. Everyone else is basically spoken for. 3 left. Probably need to inspect the other places because we're most likely going to abandon soon. For the week. Perfect. Done for the day. I forgot to put food and stuff in, but I think I can just do it. Shared. People are happy. Go ahead and... let's see. 6 and 6. 6 to the furnace, 6 to the hoosh. Here's someone with scurvy. We don't need it. Let's do that. I'm not too worried about the coal at the moment. If I throw this in... Oh, that's full. Take this off. Hang on. Hang on. I'm doing bad math. I think I'm doing bad math. 2040. 66. Alright, that'll bring me to 99. Cool. Overall, having that hard of a time keeping all of the things up. I'm having a harder time keeping myself not being an idiot and insulting everyone. Furnace. I don't know why we would need other things, but I guess we've got a little bit. Moving on. We've used more hands. Ever get the feeling you're being watched? Couldn't shake the feeling there was a pair of eyes on me while I was working here. You're overworked. You should get some proper rest. Get sleep when I can, and I often can't. That's just how it is. I'm not making friends here. Captain, on evenings like this, my good friend Caroline and I would play chess by the fireside. Makes me wish I had brought a board with me. It would make for some light entertainment. In your equipment and your rewards, you packed enough as it is. Is the ice not interesting enough? I mean, this is the right answer. Enjoyed a game myself. Sometimes the right answers are easy. That is true. Perhaps Mr. Templeton brought something along. He seems a jigsaw puzzle sort. No. Getting harder to play. Cold makes the fingers stiff. It wouldn't be a complete loss if you stopped. Damn, dude. Aye. Power through it. Before we took off, Grimly and I stopped into a greasy spoon in the city. The sausage and eggs were perfect. Best I've ever had. Now I'm trying to remember its damned name. It's left my head. Didn't take you for the sort to enjoy the city? Look around once we return, you'll find it. It's still there when we return. Who knows when we'll be back? They could have closed down or fired their chef by then. As far as rations go, this is good. Junior knows how to prepare dinner. Too good for a ship like this. Yes, he is. You're pretty old, aren't you? Good eye, lad. Why are you still working? You should be at home with your family. Don't have one. You not have any children? I might do. Don't know any, though. More of the same each night. Not much you can do with the ice. Have to. Okay. A little worried about sending out so many dogs, but not a problem. Anything? Didn't expect anything to come of it. At least we can say we tried. No, at least we can say we tried. If you find yourself stricken with boredom, I do have a book I would recommend. Textbook on different classes of wildflower. The topic is more interesting than it may seem, I assure you. I would enjoy that. Be sure to bring it to you when I have the chance. Thank God, I've just been pissing him off nonstop. Evening, Shaw. I've been thinking about our pay once we return to land lately. Don't mistake me for the avaricious sort, but I do have expenses to pay. Before we departed, I received a letter from one of my daughters asking to cover the cost of her stage school. It would be a shame to promise a luxury only to retract it. Think? You not have enough money left over from your films? I wasn't aware you had a daughter, Kurt. This is definitely bad. This is either middling or bad. I wasn't aware you had a daughter, asking him more about himself. 2, in fact. Both with the first wife. I was also... No one was aware that he had a daughter. 2 daughter. Captain, is there anything you miss from home? I don't mean anything important. I'm sure there are people you miss. I mean, small comforts. The people he doesn't like. Does warmth qualify as a small comfort? Yeah, that's something I miss, alright. Which, he doesn't seem like the joking. But I have to. It's me. Well, you certainly aren't alone there. I doubt I'll ever grow used to the cold. Personally, I miss tea. I would drink a cup every morning and right before sleep. I don't think I would miss such a simple habit so much. The main man's out here. Word. I felt now as good a time as any to review the wording in our contracts. You do remember what was written in your contract? Of course I do. Consider Article 3, and I quote, "The member of the staff shall throughout the period of such expedition obey all commands of the captain and shall use his best endeavors to promote the success of the same. And in the event of anything happening to the captain shall obey all commands of any member of the staff who shall be appointed by the captain in writing before his death, it being understood that the rest of the staff shall hold the same relations towards any member of the staff so appointed as towards the captain, as appointed by the captain in writing before his death." I don't understand. Was I not voted in as captain? The vote we held settled is only a temporary arrangement in the eyes of the law. Even then, you only made it through by a hair. Unless you somehow managed to wrestle a written transfer of captaincy from Hunt before his departure. In the eyes of the law, you are simply acting in his stead. No legal recourse to call upon. Now, picture the trouble that arises if the crew uncover your deceit. There's a chance Hunt and the deserters are still out there. Should we be reunited, your captaincy will indeed be called into question. I know why Templeton is so invested in the captaincy. Crew are unlikely to choose a deserter over me. I'm still here. Yeah, not the whole crew. Enough of the crew is likely to stick with me. Say that, knowing how the previous vote went. Loyalty runs deep. Loyalty to the crew means everything. Keep them on your side, Shaw. Keep them on your side. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Remember my words, Shaw. I suggest you start with the Stoke brothers. It seems they speak for many of the sailors. At the bow, you spot Kurt, measuring for any changes in the temperature. Signs of any change? That will be moving anytime soon, Captain. Of course, sometimes you never know with the ice. You should get some rest. I'll let you know if anything changes. See that you get some rest yourself. I will. But we have to be alert. In my experience, changes come fast. Take care, Captain. Anything else to see around? It's a little bonus event. Most likely not. Okay. Call it a night here. And in fact, we will call it a night here for the night. I think that would be for the best. I mean, we're good on the rations and everything else. So far, it's seeming pretty easy to keep up. Rather not. Rested. ship shan't hold out much longer. Mr. Gloss is demoralized. Okay. Demoralized is just generally bringing the whole crew down while that's going on. But I think now is a good time. Game just saved. I think now is a good time to call it. My voice is kind of giving out at the moment. So, I appreciate anyone who stuck around. This is pretty cool. And I have to drink a ton of water before the next time I touch this game. Yeah, I'm all out. But yeah, I'm gonna keep rolling with it. The weekend. Good. It's good stuff. All right. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good night.